Hi Leo, welcome to Carol's Universe Tarot Readings from the heart. Oh my god, lost my footing there with my words. Yes, welcome to the channel guys. Today is your next 6 months, well it's starting from July through to December, love spread. Yeah, I don't shuffle cards on screen anymore, it's taking too long. I do an 18 card spread. Start off with 9 cards at first and then add clarifiers or additional cards to each of the 9 cards. Really just opens the reading up to me and really shows me maybe people that might be involved in the situation, that type of thing. Also, I split the readings into 3 stories as well. So to the left there are 6 cards in a column, which should tell me one particular story. Second column shows another story and third column shows another story. I've done it like that because I feel just to say one story running throughout the 6 months, I didn't really want to do that. I wanted to open it up so that people who feel they can't resonate with one thing to do with the reading then have other stuff that they can potentially, relate to. Hopefully it doesn't always relate to you. Because the reading is, of all the readings that I've done so far, Leo, this reading, it's very difficult to kind of find. Not that I can't find positivity, I can definitely find positivity in the next 6 months in terms of love. But I just feel that there are a few things that you guys, some of you guys that are watching this reading will need to get through before you kind of get to that stage, which might sort of be by the end of the year. The first 2 cards we're going to look at, Leo, is the Moon and the High Priestess. Now, when you get a moon card in a reading, it can be to do with secrets, deception, fear, lack of clarity, illusions, dreams, all of those things. But in terms of love, it can be a deceptive relationship, but I don't feel that this is. I feel that this will be something like some of you guys might be trying to find this out. This will be for some of you newly attached people who might be seeing someone and you might be kind of like, I don't really know what's going on with this individual. There's something about them. It's almost like you're tapping into your intuition, or that you have you're on high alert, or there's this high kind of awareness about this particular person or about your relationship that you're not quite trusting over the next 6 months. I mean, when I say the next 6 months, I don't mean it will be all the way through the 6 months. It might just last a month or 2 months. July through to August, but this is spanning 6 months, all right? So anything can change in that time, okay? So don't think, oh my God, this is going to happen, it's going to be a whole 6 months of it. No, not necessarily. The tarot doesn't always work like that, but this is just in general what I'm seeing over the next 6 months because I've gauged it between that time period. We've got the High Priestess here, which is about awareness, but it's also about what is the unknown. So you know that when I do readings, I look at keywords. So if the Moon card is fear, then the High Priestess, if that was unknown, it would be fear of the unknown. Or it would be fear of what is known. Awareness. Now, how does that work? I've just said fear of the unknown, fear of what's known. Well, if you look at your intuition and how we use intuition, Leo, intuition is something that you can't see. It's something that you feel. So the argument between intuition and fact, the argument between faith and science is, it's gulfs apart. Scientists don't believe in anything that's not tangible. So that's why you find a lot of scientists might be either an atheist or, an agnostic. They need proof before they can actually sort of apply faith to something. So a lot of scientists would say about people who believe in God and that type of thing, well, how do you know? There's no proof of God. There's no proof that God exists. There's no proof that, that God made the trees. The world came about via, I don't know, an atom, whatever it was, but it wasn't, through some divine order. That's what a lot of scientists would say about the beginning of the world, about God. So what I'm trying to get at here is that intuition, it could be the same sort of thing. When I say fear of the unknown or fear of the known, when it's the unknown, you don't know. But intuition is something that you feel, and you feel that you know deep down inside. It's just like if I were to go on a trip somewhere, go driving somewhere, and I might think, okay, I don't really want to pull out left today. I just don't get a good feeling about going down that lane. That's my intuition speaking to me. But it could be that I happen to go left and everything's fine. And it could be that I happen to go left and everything's not fine. The only proof in intuition is when something manifests that backs up what you were feeling. And when I say fear of the known, what I'm saying is I feel that for some of you guys, there is going to be fear of something that deep down you might be very, very deeply concerned about. Okay, that's what I'm saying here. And the fear of the unknown bit is, shit, I feel this, but really, I don't really know. And that's where the problems come in, because we've got, for some of you guys in relationships, or you're starting out in one in the next 6 months, we also have the Nine of Swords underneath that. And this kind of backs this up to me, that there's real worry happening for some of you guys, especially I feel if you're in relationships already or you're just getting into one. When you get a Nine of Swords, it's about having a lot of fears that are mainly up here. And if you look at the Moon and the High Priestess, they're directly over this person's head. So this seems quite intense situation to me for some of you guys in the next 6 months, July through to December. I'm not saying, as I said, it's going to last all of that time, but this is part of some of your love scenario over the next 6 months. There's real worry here. We've got somebody who's worrying underneath, and above the head is the Moon and the High Priestess. So this is something that is, for some of you, will be really getting to you. And that's because I feel that there might be distance with a partner, or you might be feeling shut out, because we've got the Five of Pentacles next, which shows lack. When you get the Five of Pentacles in a love reading, this can be where there is distance between two people. This can be where somebody is feeling shut out of the cold. It might be a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn person that is shutting you out. This is where you just don't know something for sure. This could be a case of that your partner leaves home and you don't know what they get up to when they leave home. So it's always the card of either emotional, spiritual, physical distance. But I feel that this is a real cause of concern for you, some of you guys, because you just don't know what the hell's going on here. We have the Six of Swords, and I feel that for some of you guys, it might be that your partner travels a lot, potentially. And we've got a Page of Swords here as well. It's interesting with the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords is not always a card. It's a card where you can attribute it towards travel. So someone who takes trips. It might be because we've got the Five of Pentacles showing diagonally to the Six of Swords. And look at this little scenario here. You've got somebody who's worrying over somebody who's leaving home. And directly underneath, that person who's leaving home seems to be going on a trip. And I feel that there is cause for concern around that, because for some reason, some of you don't trust or don't trust enough. Now, sometimes the Nine of Swords can just be worrying in vain. It's worrying about nothing. But for some of you guys, it seems to me the extent of the worry, which shows the Moon and the High Priestess, is not a great combination. It just doesn't, it's not like you know, just a little bit of worry. This is like big time worry for some of you guys, and I don't know why. And I feel that it's because of some distance between you and your partner over the next 6 months, okay? I feel that you will be, some of you guys, trying to gather some further information, because we've got the Page of Swords that shows here. And when you get a Page of Swords, this card can congregate around things like gossip, news, information, learning something new, formulating new ideas and looking to initiate a conversation around that, or initiate some type of action around that. Whatever you're lacking clarity here with, whether this is a partner travelling or this is your own lack of clarity with the Six of Wands, Six of Swords, a lot of people would say that the Six of Swords is a card about moving on, achieving peace. I don't believe that that card is about moving on and achieving peace, especially when it's about energy. I don't believe it at all, not at all. I think that this Six of Swords is trying to achieve some peace. Trying, because if you look at this card, there are swords that are right in front of that guy's face. He hasn't got a clear vision of what's going on. He doesn't know what's going on. He can't see clearly to where he's going. And that's the problem. He hasn't got a clear view, which means that his vision is blurred. Now, if your vision is blurred about something, Leo, most of the time you're going to try and do something about it. So if you wear glasses but your vision is still blurred, what's the first thing you do? You go to your opticians and you look to get contact lenses or eye contacts. That's where you find the clear vision, i.e. the information that you need, the Page of Swords. So for some of you guys, in order to eradicate this blurred vision where you don't really know what's going on in a particular relationship, you're going to be trying to find things out. Now, for some of you guys, it could be that what you find out within the next 6 months won't be so good. Because we've got a Tower card that shows up here, directly after that Page of Swords, and then the Ten of Wands. Now, the Tower is a revelation card. It's about when you are, when you have an epiphany, when you find something out. It's really a card that says the truth has been unveiled. So basically, anything that is not built on something that is sturdy, something that is trustworthy, something that can stand the test of time, something that is honest, it has to go. In one way, shape or form, it's going to fall. Because if it's not right, it's not right. It needs to go, it needs to change. There needs to be a changing of the guard. This Tower, I love the Tower card now. I absolutely love it. I don't see anything bad in this card. I really don't. Yes, when you're going through it, and I went through my Tower moment last year, and it was bloody difficult, but boy did I get to the other end of it and come out a much stronger, happier and far more successful individual. So the Tower is always important, I feel, in the Tarot. It's not the most important card, it's one of the most important cards. Because what it says is anything that is not built on honesty and truth, basically it needs to be eradicated. So whatever it is that you find out with that Page of Swords, it might be a bit of a surprise to you because the Tower is the revelation, and it might be something that you struggle with because we've got the Ten of Wands, which is notoriously a struggle card. But don't worry about that, because what you'll find is a new vision and a new way forward. Because the relationship lacked stability in the first place. Do you see where I'm going? Now, it doesn't mean that you'll ultimately leave your relationship. But there's obviously something here that needs to be sorted out for some of you guys, because it's your intuition that's telling you that something is not right for some of you over the next 6 months in a relationship. And there needs to be a change in that. And you go out of your way, I feel, for some of you guys to unearth the truth. And boy, do you unearth the truth. And what that sees you doing is going in another direction. So starting over again, exploring something new, ways to develop your relationship perhaps. Because it lacks instability, it's unstable, sorry. I see how the Two of Wands faces the Ten of Wands. And it's almost like those two cards are saying together, the struggle might be real, but it doesn't mean that you can't turn a corner. And it doesn't mean that there isn't thirst after the desert. It doesn't mean that if things seem a bit dry on the relationship front because you've unearthed something, that it can't be recuperated and brought back. Because there is no death here within this. There is no Five of Cups so far within this line that I'm looking at. What I do when I'm doing readings, I look at the 6 cards going down and then what's going across. And I'll look at all of that. I'm not looking at the spread as a whole. I take bits from different parts that I feel that they're necessary. But I don't see a natural, a complete ending to some of your relationships. I see something being unearthed that is very uncomfortable, but it's nothing that cannot be redeemed. The second story that I'm seeing is quite interesting. I feel for some of you, and that story is for some of you guys who are in relationships or starting off, or meet someone and start off in a relationship. For some of you guys, I feel that you'll be looking to create a commitment with someone. I say this because we have the Magician and also the Hierophant. Now, when you get a Magician card is not about something that is manifested. This is the thing. A lot of readers will say, you've manifested something, but it's the journey to manifestation that Magician is. So within the law of attraction, it's about your very thoughts starting to create a reality. But you've got to follow those things through. Because the Magician is number 1 within the Major. If the Magician meant, as I always say, that you'd manifested everything that you wanted at stage 1, it would be card number 22. The world is card number 22 and the magician is 1. Okay? Well, the Fool is 0 and then we've got 1. And then we've got card 21, which is the world. But the world is the last card in the major arcana. And this really is kind of the beginning when you're looking at what it is that you know you want to create. So this is no... the magician to me is no promise of a resolution or a solution or even that anything is really going to happen. To me, the magician represents just simply having great, great, powerful ideas that you're wanting to act on. You know, it's the start of creating something quite powerful in your reality by your very thoughts and your very speech and your very communication. And I feel that some of you guys might be talking about a commitment here, and there'll be great talk around it. But I don't feel that it will necessarily be with your partner. I feel it might be with your friends. Because the Hierophant can also represent groups and others. Okay? That's what the Hierophant represents. However, I've just had a thought, and you know, obviously I don't want to give a shitty reading on love, but I'm an honest reader and I can't bloody lie. I just can't lie I can't lie on readings just to please people. It's just not what I do. I'm always honest. That's why lots of people come for readings with me, because I don't sugarcoat anything and I don't want to sugarcoat things. Now, just because it's a general reading, and if any of this resonates with you, it doesn't mean that it's going to resonate with everybody. It really doesn't, Leo. So if it doesn't resonate with you, bloody great, wonderful, amazing. But if it does, it does. And whether I'd given the reading or not, these things would have occurred anyway. That's all I want you to know. Some of you guys will be having big chat about weddings, I feel, because we've got the magician sitting here. Big intentions, big plans, big talk, big communication about a commitment. I'm not sure whether this is going to be with your partner, though. I feel that this is more to do with friends. Because we've got the 9 of Cups right underneath that magician. Now, the 9 of Cups is about manifestation, but it's also about, this is the card that says you've manifested something. That's your 9 of Cups. And it's funny how we have a magician first, which talks about manifesting stuff, but it's all in here and in your mouth. So it's more about thinking and speaking the words. And the 9 of Cups is so shall it be. Okay, because your 9 of Cups literally is you feeling smug because you've got what you want. However, I don't feel you get what you want, some of you guys, and I feel that this reading is really saying, you know, be careful how you speak and be careful who you actually listen to, because it might be that there is, some of you guys, it might be that a proposal is made to you that you're unwilling to accept within the next 6 months, or it might be that you're thinking that your partner's going to propose to you but they don't, or that you even make a proposal to your partner and they might not accept it because you read the signs incorrectly. Alright, it's not a bad reading at all. It's just saying to me that there is some big chat going on. Chatting shit with that magician card. Major chat, major thoughts. The Hierophant, it seems to be around a commitment. It makes you feel really happy like this is already happening. Because though the 9 of Cups is a manifestation card, it literally talks about things manifesting around you. It's also a card about having great big wishes. However, the next card that showed up was the 4 of Cups. Next door to that magician, next door to the 9 of Cups. And this suggests to me that a proposal is made, but it's kind of like not accepted, or there's no interest, or there's a lack of interest somewhere along the line in this proposal. And as a result, we have the Tower. Wow, the lid has come off the wish, the dream, the expectation, which then seems to cause some struggle. The 10 of Wands. Now, I feel here that this is not as bad as you might think it is, not at all. I just feel for some of you guys, when you've got the 10 of Wands as well, it can mean embarrassment. Okay, because this guy is hiding behind 10 Wands and he's embarrassed to be seen. This card can be seen as the card of embarrassment. And that's because of something you've found out, the revelation. Here, you're quite smug and quite self-assured that everything is going to plan. These big thoughts, this big chat you have with your friends, you know, you're down the pub or you're in the club on a Friday night and they're like, yeah, I've seen the way he looks, he's definitely going to propose. Yeah, she's definitely going to accept your proposal, no doubt about it. You know, you can see this and you're like, yes, it's going to all go. And then you turn around and you say to your partner, you know what do you think about us getting married and stuff? Oh, you know, blah, blah. And they're like, you know what, actually, Not yet, really. I'm not really that interested at the moment. Not that they're not interested. I still love you, baby, but I don't think it's the right time. You're like, ah, shit. Do you see what I mean? It's not that serious, but I do feel that the universe brought this to my attention for a reason, and that is to kind of, you know, I feel over the next 6 months for some of you Leos, the Magician is a great card. Don't get me wrong. I love the card, the Magician. But I also know that this card can be a very illusionary card because the Magician is based on creating an illusion as well. It's not only about manifesting your dreams, it's also about manifesting something that is not real in your head. Okay, so when you get a Magician, you could be fantasizing about winning the lottery so much that you believe that it's actually going to happen with the Nine of Cups. Unfortunately, those hopes and dreams that you have built up so massively are dispelled with the Four of Cups, with the Tower card, because the lottery check is not given to you. And therefore, you struggle with it. Do you see where I'm coming from? So I just feel that for some of you in love over the next 6 months, just be aware and just be more self-aware if any of this resonates with you. Just make sure that you don't cause yourself any upset or any embarrassment by second guessing what somebody else wants in your relationship, or thinking that this person wants to make a full commitment to you because your friends all say that it's good, or, you've read the signs and you're quite sure that this person's going to propose, and, more for your own benefit. If the person doesn't propose, you're left broken-hearted and down. And this is where the Tower comes in and the Ten of Wands, struggling with the aftermath. That's basically how I see the two cards. This is struggling with the aftermath, because the Tower is the aftermath. The Tower comes apart and then you're having to pick the pieces up. Do you see where I'm coming from? So it's struggling literally with the aftermath of a proposal that was not accepted or not even given. Because you based this on this. Do you see where I'm coming from? So all I'm saying is, for some of you guys over the next 6 months, be careful how you read signs of partners. And even if it's not proposal or marriage, just be aware of what somebody else's values are in a relationship. And that maybe for some of you guys, it's not that they don't love you, but it's just that they might have a different set of values at that particular point over the next 6 months than you have. And maybe that's something that you're going to need to be quite accepting of. It's not that they want to leave, but I really do feel that some of you guys might be struggling with the aftermath of something that is turned down or something that is not given to you. And that's because you've really put your faith in this Magician. I love the Magician card, I really, really do. But only if it comes from a place of absolute truth. I have been that Magician, and I have been seeing both sides of that card. Okay? Both sides of it. I don't mean reverse and upright, I mean both sides of the meaning. In one way, it's wonderful because you start to really manifest some amazing stuff through that card. I am a magician, I'm able to manifest stuff. But at the same time, I've seen myself be in complete illusion about certain things as the Magician and really start believing in it. And when it didn't come true, this is what happened. The breakdown, the truth, having to face up to something, the revelation, and then having to struggle with the aftermath of that. So all I'm saying is, for relationships that you're in with a partner, a significant partner this year, if you're not married, if you're looking for marriage or you're expecting a proposal and stuff, don't read too much into stuff over the next 6 months. Just go with the flow, take everything one step at a time, and let things organically develop rather than moving too quickly ahead, because it's what you want rather than what your other half might want. Okay, that's what I'm seeing for some of you guys. And the final reading is I believe, on a loss in a relationship. Now, these are all really good readings, all right? I have seen some stuff with the single guys, okay? I mean, I can't, everywhere I turn in the reading, I try and look for something really good for the singles and this, that and the other. And it's just difficult reading to do that in, because there seems to be a negative card or a card that isn't so well aspected that shows up, and it's difficult for me to kind of pull good stuff out of, not that it isn't a good reading, but it's difficult just to make something look amazing on the table when I can see so many points that don't point to it. But if I see amazing stuff in your love life, and I think it is an amazing year, an amazing next 6 months, because I feel that there is a lot of revelations, for good or bad, that come to you, Leo, in terms of love, and I feel that this makes you better and stronger as an individual more than anything. For some of you guys, I do feel that you will be overcoming loss in a relationship in the next 6 months, okay? So if you are going through a time where you're still feeling pain in terms of a relationship that might have ended, just know that you're going to be coming through that, and you will be getting over it. Because, and I'm talking to the people now who are probably single, who are probably still suffering with the loss of a relationship, what I'm seeing is you're definitely getting over it. And one of the biggest things I get in terms of comments to the channel and to the website are people who say, you know, I'm still cut up about a certain person that left me years ago, or I'm still upset about a certain person that I haven't seen for such a long time. I'm still in love with that person. They haven't come back to me, and you know, I'm still trying to get through it, and this, that, and the other. And all I want to do is give them a hug, because nobody should still feel that way after such a long time. And usually I find that we get caught up in still thinking romantically about someone who is long gone when we are feeling lonely within ourselves, okay, where we feel a sense of maybe isolation, where we feel a sense of loneliness that makes us still hold on to that individual. Because you don't have to hold on to relationships. It's very hard to let go of them 2 years, 3 years down the line. But I've usually found in my experience that if I've ever been in a situation where I've been holding on to someone or the thought of someone, it's because of my own loneliness. And it's because of my own sense of isolation or sadness within my own life. Because I know that, you know, if I've got somebody else there, I won't be giving that person a second thought, because I'll start developing something with that person, especially if I find that person really interesting. So just remember that if you are still holding a torch for someone years later, 2 years, 3 years, it could potentially be to a case of what's going on in your own life, which is why you're feeling that way about that person. Because when the right person shows up, you won't give that person a second thought. And the reason I say this is because strength comes up. And I did a reading once about a guy that there was a guy that I spoke about on my How to Overcome Heartache video, who I felt a great deal for last year. It didn't work out and stuff. It just wasn't meant to. Do you know what I mean? He came into my life for a reason. The universe put him there. They put all the obstacles there for a reason. And, you know, it was just for a reason. It wasn't meant to be that we would get together or anything like that. And I think it would have been best, because I don't think he would have been the right individual for me in the long term. But I asked once when I was going through a really hard time about this person, you know, how do I get over this individual? And in the outcome, it showed me strength. It showed me the Fool, and then clarified by strength, which says, you will be free by having inner strength. So you will be free, the Fool, by having inner strength. And when we say inner strength, it's the strength and the perseverance to focus on suppressing that raging desire, which is the lion that wants to go out of control when you think about losing someone or not being with them or never seeing them again. It's the ability to overcome that riotous, out of control part of you. Because that's what happens, I feel, when we're still holding a candle for someone a year, 2 years, 3 years later. Because think about it, if you've been finished with someone for 2 to 3 years, it's different, I feel, that if somebody, I don't know, I mean, I don't really want to tread on anyone's toes or say the wrong thing, but I feel that, you know, for a lot of people, they come to me in their, for personal readings, will I ever get over this person? Will this person come back to me? And I'm more than happy to help. Because if I see that somebody's coming back, I will tell you straight up, I do think that they're coming back, and I know exactly what cards to look for if I feel that somebody's coming back. But if it doesn't look like that person's coming back, I will be honest and say, because I'll know exactly what cards to look for to suggest that there's probably not going to be a lot of potential. And those cards to me will either show up in the immediate future, influences coming in, or the overall outcome. Usually it's the immediate future or influences coming in, I've found. But usually immediate future, and then the influences should show what's developing as a result of that immediate future and how the overall outcome will be, good or bad. So strength is about being fearless. It's about controlling the inner urge within you to go to that place of, I can't live without that person, or I can't. I mean, for me, with this guy last year, it wasn't as bad because I didn't really, do you know what I mean? I didn't get into anything with him, so I can't really compare my situation with other people's situations because their situations would have been completely different to mine because I wasn't in a relationship with him. We didn't know each other that well, but there was just something that I really felt about him. And to be honest with you, when I look back now, I just think, bloody hell, how stupid. But yeah, for some of you guys, it is restraint. Because the universe is trying to say, by self-restraint, you will overcome. 3 of Cups. And what it's trying to say also is that for some of you guys, that there is strength in numbers. 3 of Cups. Strength in numbers. Because 3 is more than 1, so it's numbers rather than number. There is strength in numbers. So I feel for some of you guys who are still trying to get over a relationship and wondering what the next 6 months is going to bring in terms of that, well, there is strength in numbers. You will continually think about something if all you do is spend time on your own, or you spend time feeling sorry for yourself, or you've spent time being really upset about this individual. But if you can kind of communicate and kind of branch out and open yourself up, do something that makes you feel scared. For some of you guys, you may have finished with someone and it might be really, really difficult, you know, and you might just want to hide away. And you might be afraid of going back out there and enjoying your life and enjoying yourself and meeting that person. But the Strength card says, well, face your fears. Go out and enjoy yourself. Have a good time. That's the only way nobody's going to knock on your door and say, will you go out with me? That's not the way it works. If you want to find love, Leo, you've got to go out and enjoy yourself. I'm not saying go out every night and like, huh? That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying to fight your fears. You might have been really hurt in a relationship, okay? And it might have been quite some time before you've been able to pick yourself up. But what this reading is saying is fight the fear and do it anyway. Fight the fear, strength, and do it anyway. Enjoy your life, enjoy yourself. Go out there and just enjoy. And yes, some of you might still be feeling sad in a social situation. Because we've got the 4 of Wands. 4 of Wands often represents parties, social gatherings, clubs, pubs, parties, that type of thing. And there is sadness here because some of you might still be remembering maybe a place that you met your partner at. So there is some sadness around a relationship here that has been lost, I believe. However, what I'm seeing for you guys is a new vision and a new path that you will be embarking on over the next 6 months. Where you'll be going out there and it will be so exciting just to explore new stuff. Because you realise, with that 4 of Pentacles, that your relationship lacked stability anyway. And your friends will help you to realise that too. When I was trying to get over this guy, I used to go to my sister's and she used to talk to me a lot and she used to help me out. And boy did she help me. Boy did I didn't know how much power went with communication and people just helping you and just airing and talking your problems out. When we're stuck on someone, you can bet your bottom dollar a lot of the time it's because you haven't opened yourself up enough to others. Or you're not going out enough, or you're not doing enough for some of you guys. Some of you just want to kind of keep yourself in the pain. You don't want to keep yourself in the pain, but you keep yourself in the pain. I've been there, but it's not worth it. Because that person's probably off having a very good time, and you're the one that's sitting home alone feeling down. Don't do it. It's the summertime. Go out and enjoy yourself, Leo. Jeez. Go out and bloody enjoy yourself. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Just go out and enjoy yourself. If you're happy about being at home, that's fine. But pick up a hobby. Do something. Do something to take your mind of it. I do strongly feel that this last reading applies to some of you guys who have experienced real letdown in a relationship. And I do feel that it's either by going out, feeling the fear and having a good time amongst others, branching out on your networking skills with others, opening up your network of friends, restraining that inner desire to feel sorry for oneself or to feel, oh shit, I can't live without this person. That's how you overcome with the Three of Cups. By learning to trust your body and learning to trust the universe, that sometimes when things don't work out, it really is for our highest good, and that there's always something better around the corner. You've just got to let yourself be open to it, and then be open to receiving, because that's when the universe starts to send some amazing things in. And I do feel that amazing things will come in for some of you single guys, especially you single guys who have found it difficult to let go of a relationship. I really, really believe that. I really do, Leo. I feel something amazing will come in for you, but it's about letting go of the blockage first of all. Okay, that's your reading done. We'll do a quick reiteration before I go. First story, yes, some of you guys in a relationship, just starting out in one, there might be some worry. The Moon and the High Priestess. It's fear of the unknown or fear of what your heightened awareness is telling you. You have no proof, which is why it's a fear of the unknown. But deep down you feel something's going on, which is your heightened awareness. And that's what you're afraid of. That's what's causing the anxiety. There are some sleepless nights or worry around a relationship because you're worrying either about somebody not being there. It could be that you have a lack of connection with a relationship. It could be that your partner is always away, maybe working, that type of thing. It could be where you're feeling shut out from your partner. Your partner, as I've said, might be travelling the Six of Swords. It could also be that this is your lack of clarity and you've got blurred vision, so you need to do a bit of digging around. For some of you, you will be digging around, I feel, in relationships. Page of Swords says, I'm seeking information. However, for some of you guys, it could be the Tower moment, okay, where you do unearth something and you find it a real struggle, so it's coping after the aftermath. But I'm not saying that you're going to be splitting up or anything, all right? I don't see necessarily a split. Could be, though. But what I would say is that there has to be a new way of, or a new path that you tread with your partner, because this relationship lacks stability in some way, shape or form. I'm also seeing for some of you it will be a storm in a teacup, because there'll be laughter around this when you realise that this person doesn't actually want anybody else but you, all right? So that's what I'm seeing for some of you single or people who have just got into relationships or single guys. The other reading that I'm seeing is the Magician. There is great chat, great, amazing thoughts about marriage with this Hierophant as far as I'm concerned. Feeling quite smug because you think it's really going to happen. For some of you guys, you might be thinking your partner's going to propose to you over the next 6 months. And for some of you, you might be looking to propose to your partner. And that's probably because of some idle chatter that you've got going on with friends, that type of thing. However, the lid comes off with that Tower card. The revelation comes through because there is no proposal, or somebody doesn't want this at the moment. And you might be suffering from a bit of embarrassment or struggling with what you've found. Okay, because you'll have built it up so much in your head that there's going to be marriage in the next 6 months. That when it, and I'm only saying it's for some of you, geez, you know, it's just for some of you, okay? If you've discussed marriage with your partner and you're quite sure that it's going to happen, then fair enough. All I'm saying with this particular reading is just make sure that you don't read too much into situations with a long-term partner, guys, over the next 6 months. Make sure that you're both on the same page romantically, because you could suffer from some embarrassment and maybe some letdown. And, you know, that's never very good because it starts to tarnish things, okay? So just make sure that you're both on the same page. And the final reading, I feel that this is for you single folks who might be struggling with overcoming a relationship. Over the next 6 months, you will definitely get over it, definitely. It's showing strength, which is strength, inner strength you're going to be having. It's also the strength to fight your fears and to go out and network and meet people and have a good time. But also with inner strength comes overcoming and joy. And we find here as well with that Four of Wands energy that it actually says, yes, a lot of you guys might be going into social situations. Three of Cups and the Four of Wands always reminds me of a social situation. You might still be feeling the energies of that bereavement, so it might not be that easy to overcome at first. However, with strength, friends, and happiness, you will be able to seek out a new journey, because the relationship was unstable anyway. Very good reading. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be, Leo. Jeez, I was like, oh God. But no, it's a good reading, okay? And let me know how you guys get on over the summer. If you want a private reading with me, just go to the link below, www.carolsuniverse.co.uk. Coming up next is your life spread reading along with your July 2016 month ahead reading. And I'll speak to you guys then. Take care.